Lacodia, Mrs. Lacodia. Welcome, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
Yeah, are we going to speak English or Afrikaans?
It doesn't matter.
Enige.
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick background for Olivia Lacodia. We're born and bred in Wellington, and why are we working in Wellington?
Yes, born and bred in Wellington, proud Wellingtoner. There's no place like Wellington. As you can see, it's the hottest place
like
to live in as well, regardless. But born and bred there, I went to school at Wellington Secondary. I actually matriculated there. Went on to UWC and completed a degree in admin, political science and public administration major.
All right.
And then my dad was my history teacher at high school, so inevitably, you become intrigued with history. So
What's
history
it like
is like
having
a passion.
your dad as your teacher?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you know exactly when he's serious and when he's not serious, and when you should concentrate and not, and the other children will be fussing, and I will be, no, he's not really serious, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
But it also opened up a world of thought for me. It's provocative, it is thinking outside of the box, it is not just what you learn from the curriculum, because it is his passion at this stage. He went on to do 2 or 3 degrees in history.
Wow.
And fortunately it rubbed off on me. And now I have the opportunity to actually live in the past and celebrate the future. So I think it's a good place for me to be. Yes.
So did you have to come first in history in your dad's class?
No, I actually did not. I actually embarrassed him quite a bit. I think in retrospect, I didn't do all that bad, but no, I don't think he will speak to people about that. But the pressure was never on me.
Okay,
no,
perfect.
It was not.
So why political science? Because of the history? I mean...
At that stage, I think politics was big. During the 90s, we always thought all of us will change the world and rule the world.
Yeah.
And it was always something that I was very interested in.
Okay.
In the end, I ended up doing economics as well, and that also became something that I was very passionate about.
Yeah.
So, no, I didn't further my career in that, but I went into the public sector.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you encourage someone in today's time also to do political science?
If you want a world view, if you want to broaden your perspective, I think it is very necessary.
Yeah.
If you don't want to think one-track-minded, and if you want to understand the global effect of things, I think it is necessary. However, I think these days economics and mathematics, unfortunately, those kind of fields rule the world.
Yeah.
You just refer to the matric results, for example. That is still the things that make people tick. You know, there's an interest and there's opportunities that with political studies, I don't think so much.
Nowadays, so let's talk about Wellington Museum. How long are you working there?
I've been working there for 13 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So and you're really part of furniture? Like
part of the artifacts.
Part of the artifacts there.
Definitely. But I do think it is a place where you always find something interesting.
Okay.
I've never had visitors asking me stuff that I know.
Okay.
There's always
had visitors asking something, and okay, nice.
Yes,
right.
Because there's always something new to learn, and I think that the history of the town itself is very rich. It's something that people can be proud of. We've been trying very much to make it more diverse, and I think with me being the face of the museum, it has become a little bit easier.
Okay.
People tend to trust a born and bred Wellingtoner with their history.
Yeah.
And that is what we want. We want people to know that everything that you create is history.
Yeah.
It is not something that belongs to other people. If you were a factory worker, it doesn't make you less than if you were a politician. And even today, people are creating history. The moment you take a photo, it is actually history that you're making. The moment you write something down that happened, it is actually making history. It is not that concrete thing or abstract thing that you think other people create. So I think it has to be something more lively, and that is what we anticipate, and that is what we would like to do, to make the museum a little bit more interactive. I don't want parents coming there and say, shh, don't tell your children to hush, it's not a library. It's a museum, it's a place where people learn, and we have a beautiful collection in the museum.
Yeah, because I mean, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I visited the port here in Southern Paarl, so with all the wagons, fascinating things. But then I did a small vlog about it, and someone commented and said, but the real wagon town is actually Wellington, because that's why it's called Markers Plain or something like that. Where is that? I mean, I didn't go research further.
Yes, the Wellington his first name was Le Mitre 4. Limit Valley, sorry.
Okay.
Limit Valley, referring to the mountains that posed the limits for people when they wanted to come from the Cape. So the mountains, it looked as there was no life behind the mountains.
Okay.
So that was the first name in 1695. After that, it was Wagenmakersvallei, as you aptly said now, because all the wagons that came through from Cape Town came through Wellington. Okay. And there where AutoZone is today.
Yeah.
That is the exact building where the industry was.
Oh, wow.
You can see on what was then not yet the main road, not yet Church Street, but it was the road to Bainskloof.
Okay.
So, and only in 1840, the name Wellington was adapted.
Okay, where does Wellington come from?
Unfortunately, no significant. It was a choice between Napier, the town Sir Napier, or Wellington, the Duke of Wellington, and we took the fancier one.
All right,
yes.
Cool. Okay, so give me some interesting facts about Wellington. I mean, of course, the museum is there. It's also probably one of the oldest towns as well, because if Paul is one, then of course Wellington was founded shortly afterwards. But something like very interesting about Wellington.
I want to say something interesting about the museum.
Yeah.
We have the second smallest, or no, one of the smallest Egyptian collections.
Okay.
Outside of Egypt.
Why is
we have artifacts as old as 6,000 before Christ. Okay. And that is amazing. We have papyrus.
But why do you have Egyptian stuff in Wellington?
No, but for that, people must come and have a look.
Okay, cool.
Yes, definitely. And obviously, we pay homage to a lot of things. In the museum, you will find heritage from people that was always there, the sand, the koi. Yeah. And I think that is what we are trying to do. We have a missionary collection for tribes from Africa.
Okay.
Specifically dedicated to them. Okay. We have beautiful family tree. I think that is my favorite artifact in the museum, a family tree from Adam to Christ.
Okay.
So that is a lot of interesting stuff that's going on there. And even recent history, we have a little space for the Coon Carnival.
Oh, right.
It is the second largest Coon Carnival in South Africa, apart from the one in Cape Town. Okay. So there is something for everyone. We're trying to cater for everyone's needs and everyone's likes.
And then do you have like, how do you say, functions where people come and speak about history and like...
Yes, we do have 2 annual functions.
All right.
And then here and there we do have specific guests that will come and speak about a certain topic. Say the Egyptian Society will come speak about why the Egyptian collection is in Wellington and what the significance of the collection is.
Yeah.
So
and then schools, can like schools come and bring their kids, and are there like activities for them as well? Because telling a young kid about history.
Unfortunately, not a lot of interactive activities, but we do offer activities. And the schools, they will bring, like I will say pre-COVID, it was a normal thing for schools to come and visit us. Yeah. We do have the archaeology thing with the little ones. And the little boy once told me it was very, very bad this day at the museum because all he did was work.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about excavating and stuff like that. Yeah. So we do have interactive, in that sense, programs. And we also try to adapt certain areas, like grade 4 in the school curriculum. Yeah. Or grade 5 will do Egyptian, we'll do Egypt as a topic, and we will have our displays about Egypt, about the curriculum, about what they are doing at this certain stage. Like if you do the town in grade 4, there will be specific booklets that will entice them as to do things about the town. Yeah. We are also launching like little competitions with Heritage, myself in my Heritage, for them to take a photo with their favorite heritage building, just to create awareness. Yeah. And then first years for the students at CPUT, we always do the treasure hunt, and we do Know Your Town, walking them through the town. Yeah. What is very nice is the Know Your Town, the voice map that people can download.
Yeah, I saw this one
and
in
then
Paarl
that's this one in Paarl as well. And then they can follow the route and learn about the town or at their own pace.
Okay. And then also I'm just intrigued about why so much influence on Egypt.
No, Egypt's actually a smaller collection, but the artifacts was brought and then it was given to one of the teachers at the Huguenot College.
Okay.
And we took ownership of the collection.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So where is Wellington Museum in Wellington, and what is the website and what is the social media so people can see where they can go to and get involved?
Okay, if you want to visit the Wellington Museum, it is just across the Perfect Place in Wellington in Church Street. So that's a little coffee shop there on the corner.
Oh, is the place called the Perfect Place?
Yes, the
Okay,
Perfect
I'm just
Place.
thinking now, what is the perfect
So we
place
are
in
the more
Wellington?
perfect place in Wellington. So if you have coffee there, then that is a good place to make a stop.
Okay.
And then Wellington Museum is the Facebook page as well that people can follow. And then we are always on a call if you want information. Yeah. We do not make our website that huge because we need people to come over our doorstep.
Oh, I see. So they don't have all
because
the
otherwise all the parents will just go to Google and find all the information there. But it is a different experience once you enter.
Okay, cool.
I think it's liberating. I think people will learn something. I've never in 13 years encountered someone that was negative about my museum. Okay. It will be a very sad day.
Are you also the person that takes them through to the museum and walks with them?
We do have guides,
All right.
but if people ask to be accompanied by me, it is no problem.
So what is the most famous person in your 13 years that has visited the museum?
I think for me it was Breitenbach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The author, yes, the poet.
Okay.
Yes. He's a Wellingtoner, but it was quite special for him to come through the museum, yes.
Okay, cool. And what's happening? Any big plans for 2022 at the museum? Like themes or...
Themes, we would like to upgrade one of our sections, the missionary collection, to make that one
Which
more.
collection?
Missionary collection.
Okay.
So that is Zulu artifacts, Xhosa artifacts, Tembu, all those tribes, and make that a little bit more upgraded, up to the level of the rest of the museum, yes.
And any other activities?
And what I would like to do is to make the outside of the museum also an open air museum, you know, like I have information on the outside of the museum where people can come sit, walk through, children can play or something like that. But that is in the future because, you know, money is always a problem with museums.
Yeah. Okay, so someone had to ask Olivia Lacoudere, give me 3 reasons why I must come visit Wellington Museum.
I think it is one of the best small museums in South Africa.
Wow, nice.
I think the second reason, if you haven't been there, you've missed out. And I think that people need to learn more. About their past, about other people's past. Because we need that kind of respect for each other, to know where we came from.
No, 100%. Okay, thanks, madam. Yes, guys, so that was Olivia Lacoudere. You saw Wellington Museum. And we all know over COVID, a lot of these businesses were just closed. So there's good reasons. She gave you good reasons, 3 good reasons to go visit the museum. And yeah, it's in Wellington. It's opposite the Perfect Place, which is opposite the Perfect Place.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it's cheap to come visit the museum.
What is the entry fee?
It's 10 rand, and if you're very nice and you say you don't have cash, we'll actually say come in for free.
Wow, okay.
In this day and age.
Okay, but don't be that person.
No, don't be that person.
Okay, cool. So thanks, Olivia.
Pleasure.
We are going to move over to Dean and Johan just for sport quickly.